Hey, it's Bree. Welcome to my channel. So today is going to be a really quick video because I just gotta say something about it. It was just such a good thing. It deserved a video. A while ago, I actually watched the series finale of The Good Place with my dad. I could have done a reaction to it, but I wanted to enjoy, the entire series as I've been enjoying it since it first came out. And I had no intention of filming today, as you can probably see. Yeah, no intention of it. I'm in my pajamas for right now. And this isn't even my nice camera. I don't even have my ring light on, just my lights around. So I'm sorry if this video is not in good quality. But yeah, the series finale is A Good Place. It was a perfect ending. Like you kind of saw where it was going to go if you saw episode 4, but not episode 4, episode 12 in season 4, because the last episode is episode 13. Which was an hour long with like a 20-minute special added onto it. And that was kind of a after thing with the main cast of The Good Place. But if you saw how episode 12 was, and you can kind of have an idea on where it's going for episode 13. But I didn't expect it to play out so perfectly. I'm gonna try not to give away spoilers, but it's gonna be pretty hard. I think that if you're watching this right now, and you haven't seen episode 13, the final episode of The Good Place, go watch it right now. Just stop the video right now, go watch it, and then come back once your tears have dried. Because it took me a while. My eyes are probably still really puffy. I cried, but it wasn't like sad tears. It was kind of like satisfied tears. Is that a way to put it? And that's like the one way you can really I can describe that. But stop the video, go watch it right now, and then come back if you want to hear me kind of dissect it a little. Are you on? Back? Okay, so welcome back. If you left the video, it kind of predicted how it would go in episode 12, where Jason was the first one to kind of be like, oh yeah, I'm bored. I did drag racing with monkeys and rhinos and all these things, and I'm bored of it already. So he was the first one to leave, essentially, and his wanting to leave was kind of the most fun, I guess you can put it, because he really wanted to go out with a bang. That party looked crazy, and he was just as he put it, he's just the sense of calm washed all over him, and he was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And that kind of set the tone for the others when they would decide when their time was. And Jason going was kind of very emotional, because you got him speaking with Janet and how important she is to him. And let me just say that when you compare the last episode where they're people fall in love and then they grow bored of it and nothing would happen, that the love that the characters had for one another never faded as the time that they were in The Good Place exceeded, because it goes through all it'll say Jeremy's how many had gone by in between everyone, and their love for each other stayed the same. So if not, it grew. And you got to see that over time within this one episode, how they grew as like matured, I want to say, and was kind of like excited and learning and accepting these things about themselves. I'm sorry, I'm sitting on a bed. And accepting these things about themselves and, you know, doing what they want to do to be happy. And then finally feeling that sense of accomplishment whenever they did something that they felt was right. So first it was Jason. Next was Tahani. Tahani kind of found what she wants to do. And she spent like all this time learning new things, because on Earth, she essentially did nothing for herself, or she like didn't know anything that was like essentially really something to be proud of. Like as a person, she was like, oh, I would plan parties and I would do this and I would do that, and I knew all these famous people, but she always tried to one up her sister, so she never got the attention she wanted from her parents, and she never got that recognition she wanted, no matter how much she tried, and she didn't feel satisfied with what she accomplished. So when she was given an opportunity to be like, I'm going to learn more, I'm going to like do these little things one at a time, and she was like, I learned to defuse a bomb, I trained all the animals, I built all the furniture. She felt so accomplished for doing all these things that many people, you know, eventually like make lives like this becomes their careers and their lives, and all these things eventually became something very important to her, and she felt very successful and proud of herself, and to like exceedingly happy to be able to share everything she learned with like her friends, because she tried to one up people all the time. She didn't really get to share these happy experiences with them, and she got to share it. So she was very happy about that. And she kind of found out what she wants to do now, is that now that she knows all these things, she's perfected everything, she remembers it all, she wants to do more. She doesn't want to disappear yet. She doesn't want to move on. She wants to move on, but she doesn't want to cease to exist. Not at that point yet. She wants to take everything she's learned and she actually wants to apply it. She wants to help others. So she decides to become an architect. And she's like, I want to do that. I've always lived selfishly when I was alive, and even in the bad place and the medium place and the good place. Like, she grew in all those times, but now she has all this knowledge. She wants to apply it. She wants to use it. She understands human character, and she wants to help other people eventually become their best versions of themselves and do what Michael does. So that becomes her decision. And I thought that was a rather nice twist, because I wouldn't have thought that would have even been allowed, but they're like, you know what, yeah, there's no reason why you can't. And she's like, I'm gonna start at the bottom as an intern and I'm gonna work my way up. And, you know, she kind of does that. The next one, everyone probably would have assumed it would have been Eleanor and Chidi, but it was not. It was Chidi. Just Chidi. He had, for quite a long time, felt satisfied. Felt that sense of calm that Jason explained and everything. But he stayed for Eleanor. And eventually, he couldn't keep up the act anymore. Oh man, I'm getting teary-eyed. Oh no, I didn't want to cry. Again. But he stayed for Eleanor, and eventually she started to catch on, and she was doing everything she could to, you know, make him happy, make him want to stay. And then he was like, I want to go. And she's like, I don't want you to go. I don't want to be alone. I'm not ready to go. But Eleanor has matured. Ever since she first came to the ever since season 1, she has matured she grew and she came to regret saying that Chidi shouldn't stay. That Chidi has to stay. She's like, you should go. Oh man, here goes the tears. I'm sorry, I love the show a lot. So she's like, you know what, Chidi? You're ready to go. I'm not. And that's okay, because I don't have to. I can do everything I can do everything I could to try to make you stay. But it won't be right. It won't be. There's nothing I could do to justify it. It's selfish to ask you to stay. And Chidi says, right before Chidi goes, Eleanor asks him a couple of things, and one of the things he says is kind of like explaining existence, I guess you can say. And it was a wave, I think it's Buddhism, quote that he says, and he says it so beautifully. I won't do it justice if I try quoting it, but he says it really beautifully. And then Eleanor basically, like, what she asks him to do, it makes me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it's making me cry right now. But she says, when I fall asleep, that's when you should go. Don't be here when I wake up, so tell me goodbye now. Yeah. But, you know, time goes by. Eventually, Eleanor's like, I should go. And she's like, I'm not ready to go yet. Why am I not ready? And she kind of tries to figure out why she's not ready to go. And her figuring this out kind of sets the last two people who I guess you can say, who were also very influential on Eleanor and important to her. And she needed to make sure that they were okay, or they were going to be okay. That was Mindy Sinclair and Michael. You probably thought it was her mom, but no, her mom's not ready to go yet. Which was surprising. If you watch the season finale, all these characters that were eventually important to, not eventually, but were important in previous seasons, they kind of show up again. And when they show up again, they it's kind of like a good sense of they went through this test to become their best selves, and I'm happy that they actually got to the good place. They got there. And you know, you don't see some characters, they're talked about, and some are not, or you see in the background, there's like a little snippet of them. And it's good. It's good. It's kind of satisfying because you know that they're, at some point, they're gonna be okay. Even if their loved ones decide to go. So, what Eleanor decides to do, she goes to Mindy, who's still in the medium place with Derek. And Derek, well, let me tell you, I don't know how to think on that. I feel like that was a possible future for Janet. But, she goes to Mindy and she's like, you should take the test. You shouldn't have to live this medium existence. You deserve an opportunity to become a better you, because you and me were basically the same, and I could have become you, and the fact that I didn't shows that you can change as well. And she said something that specifically pointed out a moment when Mindy Sinclair cared, and I can't remember the exact moment. But Mindy eventually agrees. Tahani would be her architect. And for Michael, he's kind of having, I guess you can say, a existential crisis. Because he's a demon, you know? He's a fire squid. He can't go through the gates, the final door. He can't. it's designed for humans. So Eleanor decides one more time to go to the judge and grant Michael the opportunity to go be human, to turn him into a human, to go live as a human. And then when he dies, he will also go through the system and has the opportunity to go be in the good place. But I think he's not supposed to remember the afterlife. I don't think he's supposed to remember that, but I feel like he did. But I don't know, maybe I lost that in translation. So Michael gets to be human, the one thing he's always been fascinated about and excited, especially in season 3, when he's like, I'm on Earth and I get to do this and I get to do that and paper clips. And he was so happy to have been able to do that. And that's when Eleanor finally decides to cross over. And then we kind of get like a little snippet, and it's at the very end here, where you kind of get an idea on what happens when you go through the door. Because obviously Janet can't leave. She's Janet. She's a good Janet. She's supposed to live forever. And she kind of explains to Jason that time doesn't work the same for her as it does for other creatures or humans. For her, time is kind of all, it's Jeremy Bear Me. Everything she remembers, it's as if she's living in it. So she doesn't feel like she's losing them, even though she gets really sad whenever they leave. But when Eleanor goes through the gate, we don't get it when Jason goes through, we don't get it when Chidi goes through. We only get it when Eleanor does, because she's the last one to leave, and you just kind of see, I guess you can see her essence, which is like these glowy orbs, fireflies, whatever, that kind of go onto Earth, and they, I guess you can say, spread goodness in a sense. Because there was a person who was throwing away like a bit of mail right there, and then one of these little orbs from Eleanor touched him or got absorbed by him, and he decided, I'm gonna change my mind. Let me go take this mail. And we find out that it was actually his neighbor's mail. He was gonna throw away his neighbor's mail that accidentally got put into his mailbox. It was Michael. And he's like, hey, here you go. Like, he just felt like doing a good thing. And that, I'm guessing that's kind of what happens when you leave the good place. You kind of send a positive energy out into the world, and whether it's big or small, it has a little effect on someone's life, and it helps them be a better person as well. And that's just heartwarming. That felt like a very satisfying, perfect ending once you watch that through. So I'm gonna end this video right here. I'm probably just gonna not even edit this and just put this on YouTube. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Like this video, and if you have any shows that, like, finales that you watched that you enjoyed, leave a comment down below. What were those shows? How did you feel when you finished watching them? Did you feel like satisfied? Did you feel conflicted? Game of Thrones. Did you feel like it can't be over? I don't want it to be over. Or did you feel like this is good? It's sad, but it's good. Well, anyway, like this video, subscribe down below, and keep it snazzy.